I don't know. I didn't really do much to most of the bases. There was just one that I really processed to make it sort of like a main phrase or hit where it comes back and sort of gives this song a lot of structure. And what I normally do is just use notch filters, use tape saturation, and I use a lot of vocoding sometimes as well.
Nice. That was a pretty kick-ass remix.
Hopefully we're not, the stream is not lagging.
None of us know now because we don't have it open.
Alex has it
But,
Alex is our anchor.
Yes.
in a bit, I'll have to be streaming.
Well, I just started local recording. That's why I'm making sure things lagging. I'm trying to close everything on the computer, so.
Indeed.
Do I have a mirror behind me? Yeah, I've got a mirror behind me.
There's also a logo behind you. Your logo, it looks like, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's a canvas.
Ah.
Above my PC.
Ah.
Is that a turntable on the wall?
Yeah, it's like an X-ray picture of a set of turntables.
Oh, that's nifty.
Yeah, Seamless, like your internet is just getting worse by the moment.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it's really bad right now.
I can't think of. I'm not. I want to check my. Watch, I have some like malware or something.
I'm not your internet because you said the test was really terrible. So
Probably someone in your house just uploading something.
yeah, uploading or downloading something.
You know what? That's a good point. I'm going to turn off Dropbox.
I'm just
What is it?
staring, waiting for him to turn something off, and he just go.
Is gone?
Alright, someone asked what is a good way to improve song structure, and the video that taught me about song structure for songs that you want people to DJ was this one by Dodge and Fusky. It's good to go by song structure if you want to like have songs that are played out, but at the same time, don't try not to limit yourself too much by it, because it can sort of make your songs sound kind of generic and whatnot. So take it with a pinch of salt. But basically, what I'll usually do is do like 16 bars of intro, 16 bars of breakdown and build up, which is where you have like no drums and then the drum roll before the drop, then 32 bars of drop, and then 16 bars of breakdown, build up again, next drop, outro.
Seems legit.
It does.
I just can't get over this fact of the cloudy man with a beard. Yeah, since you're like pretty much the only one watching the chat, you will have to refer to the chat for us, since you're the only one there watching it.
Yeah. Okay. It is going ridiculously fast.
How many people do we have? I guess I could look at the.
151 people.
That's pretty average.
Yeah. That's still not actual time. I just started local recording early, so like 7 minutes early, 8 minutes early.
What headphones do I use? I use the Bayer Dynamic DT770 Pro.
Better than Epic makes.
The man who knows his headphones.
Seamless using a potato for an internet connection. Yeah, I think so.
I think he is.
Hey, potatoes conduct. They're a good conductor.
Just,
Fourth grade science has taught me that.
Just not seamless potatoes, apparently.
No.
Yeah, because I've never seen your internet this bad.
Actually, we should take a call. Someone call in, just because I want to test this shit.
Somebody call in.
Seamless Live, my Skype. Call it. I will try to answer it and see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'll wait 100 seconds for the delay to go in. Someone call Shaun.
No, don't call me.
All right, we got some calls. This guy has a name. He has a bunch of names. Roy. Hello, Roy.
What's up?
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So is it okay if I ask my question, or?
Yes, go for it.
So I run a label called Pre-Alpha Records, and a lot of my artists are experiencing. Hello.
Hi.
So a lot of the artists are experiencing block. So basically, how do you guys get past the creative block? Excuse my English. I'm not native English.
You mean like writer's block?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I get over it by just, I don't know. I seem to just drop the project and then just come back to it when I have it back, or I'll just try start something else. Or what I'll usually do is because I work with audio rather than MIDI, I'll just like make a load of bass samples and things to use in songs when I will have my, my writing ability back. So then I've got them ready there for me to use. So I'll just make loads of, because I think if I have a good bass sample and I put it in a song, that will usually inspire me for the rest of the tune. Because if you get one hook that you like, then it will just sort of drive your whole tune forward.
This is true.
Okay, so you basically just save like samples and everything.
Yeah, that's what I do.
All right, I'll keep that in mind for future notes and everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your call. All right, calls work.
Yeah, slick fella plugging his record label.
But what Alex was just talking about is kind of like how when like lyricists and rappers will have like a rhyme book, will have examples of words and phrases that they like that they don't know how to use at the time, but they like the phrases. And then when they go to write a song, they'll say, "Oh, you know that thing, or this thing here, like right here, will work really well in this part of the song." So it's like having a pre-made arsenal of stuff that you can use in things, which I can definitely see as being very useful.
Yeah. What am I drinking? Tropical juice.
Tropical juice.
Yeah.
He juiced the tropics and he's drinking it.
Someone keeps requesting sex. I'll be happy to oblige, but I think there's a problem with
Distance.
yeah.
The technology there.
Distance and maybe attraction.
Possibly.
I think there was a girl in chat that did ask if you would if you would give her a baby. But then again, that might have been a 14-year-old boy asking you that, so.
Well, hole's a hole.
Oh, no! Jesus.
Well, see, he might have also wanted you to find a baby and then give it to them.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Just steal.
Give them a baby.
Holy shit, a hole's a hole. Oh my god, dude.
And you were worried about the chat.
I'm just saying, man. Just saying, that was a little weird. Hole's a hole.
I love that dark humor.
Hole's a hole.
Jonathan's gonna be on that forever. It's like an epiphany right now. He knows.
No, man. Like, there's never been a time. There'll never be a time in my life when I go, a hole's a hole. It's just not happening. We have far too many ways to get what you need, whether it be, a girl liking you, or you have to hire one. Any way it goes, I will never have to resort to the idea of a hole's a hole.
Don't ever rule that out.
I'm ruling it out, man.
Shaun has ruled it out.
I'm ruling it out. So, tell us about your. Well, I was going to say, Alex, tell us about the lack of ability of growing facial hair.
Ooh, shots shooted.
Shots shooted. Is that like the English version of shots fired?
Yeah, it's just a trolley version of shots fired.
Shots shooted.
All right, so we get that's gonna be one of the things that's gonna come out as I know it.
Shots shooted.
Someone seems to have like a reasonably formatted question. Let's see. Alex, Shaun, and Seamless's opinion on neurofunk. Seeing Alex did a great neurofunk bit in the VIP FSP. What does everyone think? And will you ever make some or more?
Anyone want to answer first?
I don't get much into neuro, so
I love it endlessly.
the question
Alright.
is will you make more?
I
Yeah.
love neurofunk. Been listening to a lot of Noisia recently as well, so been kind of inspired. So I guess I'll try some soon. I tried to make some, and it just ended up as jump up, and I wasn't really that into it. So
It's kind of hard. It's a hard genre. It's a hard like design target. It's not. It's real finicky.
Mate, you should go upstairs and see who is downloading porn in your house.
Yeah, I already did actually. Like before we started, I wanted to go make sure. I asked my mother if she was doing anything unduly extraordinary on the internet, and she said no.
How do you find people to collaborate with / talk to about music online? I don't know. I talk to people that are kind of similar level to me in terms of either popularity or skill to talk to, that I enjoy their music, I guess. And then just, build contacts up, and then, yeah, that's how I go about it.
That's probably the most reasonable and logical answer, actually, that would go all directions.
There's like IRC chat rooms and stuff that I frequent, and forums and crap like that, and that's a good place for people to sort of mingle and find, their people of their level, as Shaun and Alex were just saying. Like one in particular is the EDM production subreddit on Reddit, and they have their own IRC out there sometimes. And that's pretty much, it's only the chat room I can think of. And then there's like what they're saying, which is like just making contacts and doing things. But on the subject of collaborations, I don't really do them very often. And like I did the remix with Shaun, and that was a very like impromptu, really fast experience. That was like an outlier in terms of how that usually works out. And the one I did before that was with BT, but like I was physically with him doing that, and that works out way better than trying to do it like with stems and sending stuff around because you don't have the same DAW, that kind of stuff. I don't really do collaborations. Not that I'm not open to it.
And here you go. You're about to get asked by 100 and something people, collaborate with me.
You're saying it like I don't already have that happen.
I'm making a post-it note.
Have you ever done any course for learning to produce Alex? I did music tech for 2 years in higher education at school, but that basically taught me the basics of Reason, Cubase, and like mixing, so like how compression works, reverb, how to like mic up a drum kit or a band and record that, and also synthesis and how that works. So I learned a lot of the basics, but when I started out like maybe like I don't know, half a year before I finished, I like discovered dubstep, and I tried my hand at it, and it really sucked, but I kept at it. I think it's all right now.
Yeah, like when I was in high school, I looked up. This is back in like 2006 was when I was trying to do this. I was trying to find colleges that had courses in like synthesis and stuff, like sound design, that kind of thing. And back then, there was nothing. There was not a single thing. Like now, I mean, the only thing I can think of now is like Berkeley, Boston, Berkeley College of Music. They have like they have all the stuff for this. They have like synthesis and sound design and all that stuff, and film scoring and all that really good sort of jazz. But in lieu of that, it's mostly finding classes in like regular audio production stuff, which is like recording and that kind of thing. And that helps. That's the same. It's it's not like super one-to-one related, but it's still you will learn what you need to know to make the transition into like synthetic stuff.
Seamless, your potato just went over 9,000.
What?
They mean under
That's
9,000 because
Yeah, your
just
potato.
getting worse.
Yeah, your potato just went over 9,000.
It's over 9,000.
In potato format, that is.
Crush.
Oh God, just like a blur.
Oh, this will be the low-res seamless stream.
No, everything else is gonna be great. Just you.
except for Seamless.
Yeah.
That's why it's low res Seamless stream. Seamless is being streamed in low resolution.
It looks like you're underwater, my friend.
I know I'm not.
We've got a question for all of us. Someone says, "What do we think of the value of a music degree in today's world?"
0.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's gonna be for like mastering or something.
And it's still
I
then
bet-
0.
Yeah.
The only real there are colleges that offer like PhDs in music, and the only reason why I would ever think that you would need to do that is if you wanted to go be a professor
Yeah.
of music.
If you want to teach music, you would need it. Otherwise, 0 value.
Mm.
Or like music historian or something, if you want to be that kind of that guy.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's like a ratio out there of all the people that have degrees and all the people who don't have degrees, and I guarantee you the ones that don't have outweigh those people that do that are famous.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't need it. If you can make good music, you can make good music. Having a degree on your wall when you're trying to get a record label to sign you doesn't mean shit.
Nope. The record labels do not care.
Yeah, I've seen...
You'll probably learn more by doing it yourself anyway.
Oh, yeah. We've had people submit stuff to us that they... I know for a fact that they have a degree in music, and it's terrible. I wouldn't... No. So
And some people think EDM is too technical.
I think EDM is pretty technical, but it's in your own version. Like, your own version of technical.
Mm.
Definitely not by the books technical.
Should we accept any more callers? Should we do like a whole...
We can do another potato
So-
call.
Oh. All right, guys, call the potato.
Call the potato.
1-800-PATATAT, however you spell potato.
Potato.
Potato. Boil them, back to stick them in a stew.
Everyone, ring up Oxford Dictionary and get them to change the spelling.
Yeah. Potato. Potato. What if it was spelled? What if that's how you said it? Potato. No, potato.
Potato.
Like I'm having fried potato. It just sounds better.
It sounds like special, like cuisine-y.
Yeah, like it's like I'm having mashed potato.
Yeah, let's have Infrared call. Hello, Infrared.
Hello.
How are
Hello.
things?
Hello, welcome to the potato.
Things are going awesome because I just got accepted. All right, I have a question. What are some things or tips to do when making the B-side or B-section of a drop? How do you make it interesting or stand out?
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a good question.
Well, a lot of people, they'll just, copy like the first drop, including like the intro or the breakdown over, and then they'll call that done. Or they'll copy it and then they will just like take stuff out and just edit it slightly. But it depends on the mood of like, if I want to get a track done, I'll probably do that and then edit it slightly. But if I want it to be really, really different, what I'll say is that just try to like make everything that don't copy paste like the breakdown after the first drop and then copy paste any stuff from the first drop. Just try make it fresh, even though it will take a lot longer and probably a lot more effort, but normally it will end up with a more unique result. But obviously you want to keep some sort of reference to the first drop in there, so maybe not completely different, but just have some parts that are sort of referencing back to the first drop.
Another thing you can do is for break-based genres like dubstep and drop step is you can always double time it for different drops, and that always adds interesting sort of variations. Although I've noted I did this once. I made a drum step track for a thing that no one's heard yet, and I did the drum and bass half of the last half of the song, and I had thought that I would just copy the drop and then just double time the drums and it would work. It didn't work at all. This is because the drops like voice in was voiced for one halftime 174, and so like all the notes that were put there for halftime 174, and then I did double time like full time 174, and that it didn't fit. I had to basically redo the drop, but I used like the same sounds and everything, but it was double time, so that added variation. It was nice.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you for your call.
I love you, Alex.
Love you too.
That wasn't creepy.
Yeah. Like, I love you too. Oh, keep calling. Just keep calling.
Yeah, let's do lightning round calls. This
Yeah.
guy,
Potato.
Castifer. This individual has been calling a lot.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Castifer.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm talking to Rob. Answer. Anyway, so my question is for all of you guys. What do you guys think about like Tristram? Because I personally think he's become stagnant, but
Look, Tristram is a great musician. But I mean, he's just Tristram. There's nothing to it. Like, there's a lot of hype built up around him. He's a great musician, and the hype is built up by the fans, but not by him. In fact, he doesn't do interviews. He doesn't do like any kind of like photos. He doesn't do anything anymore. So all the hype that's building up is from everybody building it up. So I wouldn't say he's stagnant because I've heard some of his new stuff, and it's really good. It's very interesting and it's different. But no, definitely stagnant's not the word I would go with. Alex, what do you think?
I don't know. I have opinions about a lot of artists that I wouldn't really want to say publicly, but I definitely think there's a lot of hype based around him. But I think it's just because he keeps himself so closed off and like mysterious, and that sort of just drives all the fans to sort of go crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's much more I could say.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of Tristan music, a lot of it, so I can't tell you if it was stagnant or not. I listen to basically Truth and Hoggling Street. That's all I've heard of him. And they're nice songs. They're very different from each other as well.
Don't forget about Razor Sharp.
I haven't. That's all.
all right. Well, thanks, guys.
Cool.
Thank you for your call. All right, so my cutoff on the delay was too low.
More calls.
Yeah, keep it going.
Let's keep it up. This
I don't know if
continues.
your internet can handle it, but try
I'm gonna apparently handle calls as long as I don't degrade into a turnip.
So are we just evolving into other vegetables now?
Yes. Here's Angie. Hello, Angie.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
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 I see that you're connected.
She either doesn't have a mic or she's too nervous to say anything.
Oh, all right. This guy's Eli. Hello, Eli. Or not. Jesus. Mason. Hello, Mason.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
Very
Oh,
good.
the echo.
Dost thou hast a question for us?
Is it possible to route Skype without an audio interface?
Theoretically, you can do it with a piece of software called audio cables. However, I've never used it.
Virtual cables.
Virtual cables is what it's called. Virtual cables. I've never used it.
If you're on a
Fine.
Mac,
If it
there's
works.
sound.
Yeah. Because I mean, I use it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for your call. This guy appears to be Rob Gasser.
Is it Rob?
Oh, hey,
No. Let's find out. Hello, Rob.
Oh, hello. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and ask my question. I know a lot of people like get stuck. I myself get stuck a lot, like listening to the drop over and over again without doing anything to it. Do you know the situation as well when you produce the track?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Well, you need to basically just like, I don't know, you have to think to yourself that you're going to be wanting to change stuff that doesn't need to be changed. So get into the habit of, once you've got a section down that you like, try to move on, do other sections, and then maybe leave like a week or something before like changing main huge stuff. I mean, little tweaks fine, but if you're thinking about changing something big, I normally leave it like a few days to a week without listening to it. just to make sure that what I was thinking is concrete and not just, me getting tired of the track.
Okay, I see. Okay, well, thanks. And also another question. I know Shaun has asked me before, like, if I had any tracks.
Mhm.
I just wanted to ask, like, what are you going for? Like, what kind of sound are you looking for your new label? For Amon, right? Yeah, Amon Records.
Anything. We will listen to every genre, no matter what the genre. And I mean that by like not just limited to electronic music. I mean that by
Even
rock, pop. It doesn't matter what it is.
Also acoustic music and stuff, but I'm never gonna write that anyway. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, well, okay. Thanks for answering my questions, and see you.
Peace.
see it.
Oh, look, it's Alex.
What,
The other Alex.
Which?
Hello,
Oh,
other
Hello.
I know this voice.
What's going on here?
Terrible
What's up,
internet
dude?
disasters.
Yeah, it's that too.
Yeah, I've been watching Seamless is underwater as the
This is just degrading
Yeah.
into a pile of sludge
Yes.
slowly.
Yes, he
I'm
is.
being rezzed because I'm in Tron, I guess.
de-rezzed. This is taking a lot longer than what I've seen in the movies.
Yeah.
I'm resisting.
I'll ask a question. What if you could be one animal with one superpower? And I'm asking this question to all three of you, so you can answer one at a time or all at the same time. Doesn't really matter. One animal with one superpower. What animal would you be? What superpower would you have? And what would a typical weekday look like for you, assuming you were the animal with the superpower?
Look,
Alright.
ladies and gentlemen, 7 minutes dead.
All right, this is what I got. I would like to be an elephant, and my superpower is invisibility.
Invisible elephant.
Yes.
Then you can be the
Consists
elephant
of
in the
me
room.
commuting to work and freaking out everybody.
Oh,
Can I ask a question? Are we self-aware as these animals?
Yeah, you are as aware as you are right now.
Are
So
we able to interact with
You're
like
shut
people
alone.
as it's everyday life? Are we like Brian from Family Guy?
yeah,
Okay,
it's just
All
you,
right.
but you're an animal with a superpower.
all right. So I'd be a cat that can poo money.
Can poo money.
Yeah.
It's an interesting choice.
So
What would you do?
Because you could eat food and just turn it into money, and then you go and spend it.
And then your profession in life is that you're an ATM.
So why the cat?
I don't know. I just like cats.
It's Lars Olson.
Yeah, fuck Lars, apparently.
Who is Lars? Whatever.
I have
All right,
no
Shaun,
idea. I did
you're
a
up.
Google just in case, and I got a bunch of different results. So I have no idea.
Are you kidding?
Oh, that stream is
I'm
going
not
down.
gonna answer that because I can't follow up a cat that shits money. Like,
I mean, you could still use the same superpower. You don't necessarily have to be a cat.
All right, fine. I'll be.
Oh, we could team up and be a duo.
No, I got this one. This is my super villain animal. This is who I am. I want to be.
Oh my god.
I want to be a huntsman that can teleport.
You can hunt Protostar, who's a cat busy shitting money and catch him off guard.
If you're unaware of what a huntsman is a big ass spider.
Right.
So I'm gonna be a big ass spider that can
I
teleport.
could just squash you.
Yeah, but
That sounds like the
I
worst
teleport.
thing ever. Please do not do that.
I can teleport.
It's like my dreams.
I'm like crying right now. From laughter.
You guys can call Seamless by calling up Seamless Live. That's the name of the Skype that I'm using.
Yeah, that's what I did. If you need help, here's what I did. I went to Skype, searched for Seamless Live, clicked a little drop down box. And
Fuck you, Alex.
All right, 7 minutes dead, ladies and gentlemen. He just gave a tutorial on how to use Skype.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Have a nice
And
day.
you're welcome.
That was a good time.
wow.
Shaun didn't answer. I answered twice. I'm gonna be an invisible elephant and a spider that can teleport.
She
Alex,
says,
the cat
"Can't
that
you
can
call
shit
again?" She promised.
Is that like an analog for Monster Cat? Cat, that shit's funny.
Wow.
That was my reading on that.
Mm.
Shot shooted.
All right, Eli has called again. Let's see if he'll answer this time. Hello, Eli.
Hi. Protostar, I just want to say I like to compliment your Chem Plant Zone from yesterday. I haven't replay for a while.
Thanks.
And I just wanted to know, what do your computer specs look like?
The one I'm using right now, I've got 16 of DDR3 at 2100 hertz, I think. My graphics card, I can't remember what it is. It's okay, but then my processor's a hex core. I think it's an AMD Phenom 2. It's running about like 3.5 gigahertz.
All right.
That's about it, really.
If any of you use FL, do any of you use the GMS synth maker, or do you tend to stay away from that?
I don't use SynthMaker or GMS.
Oh, okay. And I just also wanted to know, I know you use Reason Protostar. I just wanted to know if that was like the first DAW you used, or if you used a DAW before that.
I used Cubase before, but not for like electronic stuff. Like with electronic stuff, I've only used Reason pretty much. I mean, I've tried Ableton, didn't really like it that much, but yeah, I learned how to use Reason back in school when I did music tech, and I've just stuck with it. I guess I'm comfortable with it.
Oh, sorry. And do you plan on collaborating with Mr. Bill again?
Yeah, we're gonna be doing some more metal kind of tunes soon, I think.
Nice.
When we're both free.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Oh. Nice. Very nice. Making a Borat joke, even though I hate Borat.
So whenever you upload this video, you're gonna title it normal, but then you're gonna put in like parentheses power animals.
Yes. They'll think we're talking about Big Room House, but no, we're secretly just writing a new Marvel comic.
Yeah.
All right. This guy's name is Tefroid. Nathan, I guess. Hello, Nathan.
This is a question for Seamless. So, when did you ever first get interested into bass tracks?
It was in 2004 or 5 when I first heard "Noisy as the Tide." That was what
Okay.
happened.
And how long has your beard ever gotten?
My beard had got to be about a foot long before I cut it off.
All right.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
Awesome. Thank you for your call.
You're welcome.
He was just tickled silly by that.
I think he was in the bathroom.
I'm not doing a studio tour. Don't do that.
Why would he do a studio tour right now? Look at the potato. Look at the potato. You wouldn't
You
even.
don't see anything. It'd be a featureless blur.
Numi says, "Can she ring again?" But she'll talk this time.
Who?
The person that called in and just stayed silent.
Oh, Angie.
Yeah.
Well, let's have callers. I don't have any callers. Let's get some callers. We got an hour to kill, guys. Let's call up. Let's do this. Well, the glitch hop track will be out soon. It's not even half done. I haven't even made the B job part 1. It's gonna be a while. Protostar should dye his hair blue. Apparently a thing.
Okay. That's not gonna happen.
Seem live, you guys. You call it. It says do not disturb, but I actually want you to disturb me. Do that, please. Wow, your drums are fuzzy. I'd fix it if I were you. Yes, they are fuzzy. They're covered in fuzz. Again, asking me about the glitch hop track. I just address this directly. Do some production. I can't remember the glitch hop track now. No, we can't actually because I'm not the one streaming. Shaun is, because my internet is a potato, as we have discussed.
Yes. Not even like a good potato.
Here.
It's like a shitty little potato from some. What do you?
I would use a lot of hair dye. I don't want to do that.
What do I study at uni? I study mechanical engineering. Completely unrelated.
He's
You can
think,
build sweet live sets.
Well, he's thinking about that backup plan if music doesn't work out.
Yeah, I probably will always try to do something in music, you know, whether it
Cats
would be
in the field.
film scoring or building stuff to do with music, like equipment, designing stuff.
Here's a good question, I think. What do you think is the best way to get noticed today with the massive amount of producers out there? YouTube, another platform? What say you?
YouTube is dead for the little guy, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Is dead.
Networking.
Networking,
Yeah, the way I'd say, like,
but not harassment. Networking
Yeah,
in a
but-
nice, peaceful way.
the way I've gone about it and how I tell people when they ask me is just basically make friends for the sake of actually making friends. Don't just go around making friends just to get somewhere. You know, actually enjoy sort of like the conversational value that you're going to have with these people and the knowledge you'll gain from talking to them. And in that way, you will end up probably potentially getting more noticed, and B, you'll have some good friends.
Yeah, a good example would be if you can find one of your producers that you like on Facebook, add them on their personal page. If they add you, don't message them about your music. Say hi to them if you want. And then just, like, you're already on their friends list, so if you post a track that you're working on your Facebook, you're not harassing them, but they will see it, and if they want, they will listen to it, and if they like it, they'll start talking to you. That's probably, like I said, networking is the best way to do things, but not by harassment. Because when you start spamming, when you spam a link to somebody, it's just obnoxious.
Yeah.
All that is good, and also having music that's not awful is a good plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's being a bit mean, but like let's see, back in like 2004 and 5 and 6 when I first started producing, I made some tracks that I totally thought was the shit. Like, I made some stuff that I'm like, damn, I should be a professional. And like, if it was now and like social media was as permeated as it is now back then, I totally would have been one of those kids that would spam the shit out of like people like Rob Swire. That's what I would have done. That's exactly what I would have done. And it would have got me nowhere.
Mm-mm.
So
It tends to not work out. It tends to actually get like when people do that to me on Facebook, I just delete them.
and then you
How
lost
did getting on Monster Cat affect your life, both as Alex and as Protostar? I don't know really. As normal life goes, not much. But I guess as like music goes, it just gave me like a bigger audience to put music out to.
Yeah.
I guess that's it really.
That's the most logical conclusion to go on any label. I mean, as a normal person, like when people start getting larger in their career, it doesn't change. Well, I mean, some people change and just become, pricks, but for the most part, you're still the same person. Like all the friends you had before are still your friends. Your family is still your family. It's not like you get popular by going to a label and all of a sudden you're like just this ultimate untouchable rock star, especially not in electronic dance music. Like, no.
Yeah, and the case is that normally a lot of people that you're friends with before normally aren't even into that kind of music.
They don't even give a damn about your music. Like, they could care less about it.
Yep, that's my friends. I mean, everyone that I know that's into any kind of music are straight up there's into metal, and they don't ever want to talk about anything electronic based. They think it's like the worst thing ever. So, like, as far as my Seamless stuff, none of my friends give a shit at all. They have no idea about any of the things I've done or any kind of impact in anything. They just do not know. They're never going to know. So even if I become like the next Deadmau5, they're not gonna have any clue who I am.
Yeah, my family and friends could give two shits less about my music. They like that I can pay bills. They don't give a shit about who I am in public eye.
Yeah.
The demo. Well, we listen to demos. The thing is, here's the thing about demos and Amon is that the speed at which we listen to them and the speed at which we respond to them are two different things. Because this is like the SoundCloud system is a bit cumbersome when it comes to like actually sifting through things. We listen to everything pretty much as we get them, but like, and actually until recently, SoundCloud limited how many messages we can send out in a day. But we took care of that, so it should be a bit better. But it's a bit of a process.
Yeah, it does take us a while. We tend to listen to the tracks more than once, usually. Because our mood will affect how we feel about a song. So, I mean, if I'm in a bad mood, I'll listen to the tracks, and then I'll just leave them there. And then he'll go back and listen to them, and then he might leave them there. And it's just a vice versa flip around. And eventually, one of us will message. we try to clear as many as possible. But we're also very busy right now, so. And we don't have an A&R, so listening to all these songs we're doing this ourselves, even though we're trying to work at building that label up and other things that we're working on other projects. So it's kind of limited on the amount of time that we had to listen to them. We are listening and we are scouting. We just might not message you back immediately. So for all the people that are uploading, and as soon as you like drop in our Dropbox and then you message us and you're like, "Oh, when are you gonna let me know?" Just don't do that anymore. Just wait. Yeah, we will let you know, and we will get back to you.
We will tell you. We're not going to leave you hanging. Just be aware. We're not going to forget either. It's kind of hard to forget, honestly, the way that the SoundCloud's worked out. We're trying to work up a better system for delivery of demos. But in the meantime, we're going to work with the SoundCloud system as it is. And SoundCloud kind of is blowing recently.
Yeah, bad.
Like I just went through doing all the Patreon rewards for people from last month and this month, and one of the ones being that I review a track. People send me links, and it's behaving as if they're all private links, even the ones that have the private code, and it's being obnoxious. But we're working on that. And I'm working on that. We're all working. We're very busy individuals because it is just more or less just us two doing everything.
Just give us time.
Of course.
Yeah, take more calls. Call.
You sound like salespeople.
Yeah, this guy Kovacs is calling.
Oh, it's Kovacs. Brendan.
Kovacs? Brendan? Hello? Hello? Alright, so much for that. Alright, this guy's name is Ari or Oscar? Oh, no, it's his two names. I'm going to call you Oscar. Hello, Oscar.
Hi.
How are things?
Hey.
Things are great, actually.
What is your question, sir?
My question goes out to all of you, actually. My question is actually, have you done any or considered doing any ambient sound design, like cloud synthesis and stuff like that?
Not for a very long time. I have in the past for things that no one has ever heard, probably ever will. But I do in the context of maybe like a breakdown or something, but probably not as like a whole track.
Yeah, I mean, I've done ambient kind of tracks before, but if you're talking purely ambient, no, I haven't really considered really doing any tracks to put out. That. Maybe if I would just for myself, or I'd just release them as like something for free. But I feel that if I did something like that, then maybe I'd have to put it on another alias or something.
Mm.
I mean, I really like chilled music and that kind of relaxed stuff, and even like stuff that's heavily acoustic based. So, I mean, in terms of ambience, I guess maybe.
What about you, Shaun?
I do stuff. I do weird shit all the time.
It's true, he does. Cool. Well, thank you for your call, Oscar. Up, Oscar. Goodbye, Oscar. Thank you for your call, Oscar. Postmortem. And Kovacs. Hello, Kovacs. Hello.
They're not working again.
Wow. Just to let you guys know in the chat, I am not a mind reader. I do not have telepathy.
Well, I got on Skype on my phone, and I'm trying to see if he's having issues, but...
We may never know. Let's do some chat. Let's do some chat questions. I'm sure it's funny. Do any of you listen to Virtual Riot?
Yeah.
I did once for a sound design request. It's not bad. It's good stuff.
I haven't really listened to him, to be honest. I don't really listen to that much electronic music. Sounds weird for a bass music producer, but I find that if I listen to too much, then my mind just gets clouded with stuff that I don't really want when I'm trying to produce something that sounds original.
I know what that's like.
Oh, Kovacs is trying to fix his mic.
Do any of you competently play the piano? Has it helped your producing, and how?
Yes, I do competently play the piano. No, it doesn't make a difference in producing.
What about you, Alex? Do you play the piano?
I learned for like 2 years when I was little, but I stopped. and I took up the guitar again.
I had piano lessons when I was a kid, and like I can still play some stuff, but well, I mean, if you're familiar with bass guitar, then I sort of apply it like that. But I wouldn't necessarily call that competently playing the piano. I haven't used a keyboard for like arrangement purposes in a very long time, but like I have, and it's kind of nice. Just that the keyboard that I have is huge, and it doesn't actually fit in my studio. So one day I might remember that I can do that and get a smaller MIDI keyboard. But I'm just way more used to using a mouse on the MIDI than I am anything else. Alex, what's your opinion on Raziel?
We should get more callers, by the way.
Everyone just be constantly calling, just always calling. Someone eventually will get a
The good news is your internet is really getting better.
Is it really?
I can actually see the family photo in the background.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, it's pretty good now.
Yeah.
Weird. I guess whoever was. Did Dropbox ever go away? Yeah, it did. Interesting. They got this guy calling No Face Music. Hello, No Face.
Oh, let me stream 1 second. Okay, so for general like sound design, what do you guys do? Because I know Seamless, you use Armor and stuff. Shaun, you use Massive. You made like the preset pack and all that stuff. Protostar, what do you do?
Maelstrom.
Well, because I'm in Reason, I use Maelstrom mainly. What I'll do is, like, all my respaces are literally just one oscillator, and I'll try stuff normally with like a really thin sound, and then I'll just layer like effects and effects and effects. So I'll just put like a notch filter, and then I'll put a tape saturation on it, and another notch filter, then more tape saturation, then maybe some other kinds of effects like unison or something like that. I'll often use effects like not fully wet as well, just to color the sound slightly, just to give more texture. But it's normally just all about layering lots of effects, and whether or not I bounce it out between these effects, it's just depending on like whether I want control over like the sort of pattern. So I can just, like, for example, if I'm just doing a bass hit, then I'll just bounce it out between each time that I put the effect on.
All right. Oh, thanks.
I thank you for your call.
Did you just blow me a fucking kiss, Seamless?
Nah.
Oh, God.
Seamless, what kind of equipment do you normally use? It depends on your definition of equipment. This mic I'm using is it's an SM57 Shure microphone. This mic poof is not for this microphone, but it works. This is a giant mic stand that I use. It's a good time. I have like 10 of these because the room back there is a live room where I record drums. And I have a PreSonus Fire, I have two actually, PreSonus Fire Studio projects for my audio interfaces, and that's pretty much the extent of my equipment. Also, I guess, KRK FT8s is, yeah.
Fun fact, Protostar is the first person we've had on the stream that's actually intelligent and bought atoms for monitors.
And I've got a boom mic.
And he's got a boom mic.
Yeah, his boom mic.
Got this thing. It's probably going to be really noisy if I do that.
Good job, mate. You spent tons of money on the boom. You probably spent just about as much money on the boom as the mic.
No, it wasn't that expensive.
I was
like
just
20
looking.
quid.
I was just looking at booms like the other day, like desk
It
booms.
was cheap. I know someone who works in a music store in London, and he got me some stuff.
Aren't you fucking special?
Yeah.
these like tripod boom mic stands are like $25 a pop.
And yet, that's mine.
Bud Adams for monitors.
No, Adams. ADAMS.
Adam, as in like Adam and Eve.
Mm-hmm.
A7Xs.
Yep.
They should call their subwoofer Eve. Be funny.
Marketing ploy.
That'd be pretty good.
Get frequent on here. I think I did know one. Well, Shaun did. Shaun and Nolan did plenty of streams back in the day.
Mm-hmm. We used to, yeah.
I guess maybe I'll have him on at some point. So why not?
I think Kovacs is saying his thing he's trying to call, I think.
Okay. Well, when he pops up again, we can have a chat with Kovacs. Meantime, here's this guy Dino. Hello, Dino.
Hello. I have a question for Alex.
Oh, hey.
So, how long did it take you to actually, I guess you could say, get good at sound design and like completely understanding your plugins?
I guess I'm still learning stuff with these plugins. It's never really the case of like fully understanding, but I mean, I guess to like understand the ins and outs, maybe it would take like a few months of like properly like using it in songs. So like the way I'd practice is literally just like making songs and releasing them. That's how, you know, if someone asked me for like advice on how to get it's literally just practice. So to get good at sound design, I just sort of, you know, I'll sit there for a few hours and design some basses, export like the WAVs or whatever, and save them on my hard drive for later. And then, you know, at first I wasn't really that good. I don't really count myself as good now. But, you know, if I look back at what I was doing maybe like a year ago, then I can definitely see some progress, and that just sort of motivates me more to keep going. I guess it's just, you know, it's experience really. That's how you progress.
Thanks for your answer.
All right, hope I answered it well.
You did.
Oh shit!
Ah!
I am sorry. I apologize. Eric Olson just sent me a message, being confused as to why everyone said "fuck Eric Olson."
They said Lars Olson, actually.
Lars Olson? I believe
Isn't
that's
he? Isn't he?
the same guy. Energy, I think his name is.
Energy.
Lars Olson, Eric Olson, Eric Lars Olson, Lars Eric Olson.
I've got him on Skype, I think.
I think he sent me a request on Skype.
He sent me a message just being like, "What? I guess I got a message from someone saying that they all hate me. I don't know what's up with that.
Never
He
mind.
wasn't even there. I don't know what's up with that. I have no idea why people are on this case."
We couldn't tell you.
He says he's the same person. Cool. So we got a call from O.
Oh.
That's Oscar again. Okay. All right, here's a guy named George. Hello, G-Man.
Hi guys. My question kind of relates to the last guy's question with like synthesis and stuff. And I was wondering how important do you guys think it is to have your own sounds in tracks? Like today I saw Future Music released a video about how Martin Garrix did Animals, and he used a lot of like samples and stuff, especially for like the main some of the main sounds, and I was just wondering how important you guys think it is.
If you can cleverly use samples, and when I say cleverly, I mean disguise them so they don't sound just like the sample dragged from the pack, then by all means use them. But don't be Martin Garrix.
Don't be Martin Garrix.
Yeah, don't be Martin Garrix. Nobody is proud of that video except for Martin Garrix.
Yeah, like here's an interesting way to look at it. Coming from a metal perspective, a metal band, I mean, they have a certain they care a certain amount about like tone and stuff like that, like guitar tones, but largely it's an electric guitar. It's a bass guitar and it's a drum kit and somebody screaming. Like that's metal. They all sound like that. There's just certain tiny variations, and then what separates one band from another is how they use those sounds. So that's true. That's also true for lots of EDM genres, like hardstyle. Hardstyle is like the same sound, otherwise it's not hardstyle. Like that's how this is my understanding of it. I might be wrong about that, but you know what I mean. And so you can be like someone like me, who I at least try to make new weird sounding sounds like every single track. I don't really like to recycle much stuff. Or you can be like Joe Ford and have like a set sound that you want to use all the time and be like, this is my sound. This is what I want to do. Both work. They're both fine. Just depends on what you want and what you want to be known for. Or you can be Martin Garrix, where you download a bunch of samples and put them in a track and then you're good. And that can work, I guess, at a professional level, but probably not when you're trying to start out, I don't think. That's my opinion on that.
Yeah.
Myself, I try to make all my stuff, you know, all my bass samples and whatnot. I don't know. I don't think I'd be comfortable with myself just to use samples that I found, even if I process them and stuff. Like I process some of my older like bass sounds. Like I try like warp the crap out of them just so that they're not recognizable, and then use those as well, because they just sound completely new after the process. But I think as you're starting out, I think it's good to try at least to make your own stuff, because then, you know, for example, if you do what Martin Garrix did and then just use samples and then you get that big, then you kind of don't know the fundamentals of like synthesis, I guess, you know, and like, you know, how to make those sounds and whatnot. I'm not saying he doesn't, but I mean, if you did that, you might not know how to make those kind of sounds. So when you want to make more, you'll probably have to keep relying on sample packs, and you know, then I honestly, I think it's more rewarding to make a track where it's your own sounds.
Yeah,
very
well,
much.
I'm fairly new to like the sort of concept of like synthesis, so I've been going through presets and kind of tweaking them just to see what each thing does. So I'm fully aware of like, you know, that sort of thing.
Well, tweaking your presets is a great way to learn how to like make your own sounds. I mean, you're not just gonna pick up a synth and literally just start from scratch and pretty much make anything. But if you take the presets and you see what it, because each synth is different for the most part. I mean, some are pretty much the same, but each one's different. So if you start messing with the presets, you can start seeing how the sounds are made if you don't want to read the manuals. I always recommend you read the manual on something, but yeah, or you know, learn, like watch tutorials on it. I guess you could do that. I mean, but it's not bad to use a preset. Samples are different. Like a sample's a sample. That's something that you can only modify to so much extent. That's where a preset, you can completely change the way a preset will sound. And just, I don't know, samples are just hard to, I don't know. I kind of agree with Alex in saying, you know, if you can make your own stuff, make it. But
as well, like, it's from an educational perspective, you will become a more powerful producer if you do learn how to do that kind of stuff. Because, like, even if it's kind of like how ear training helps you identify what melodies are doing when you listen to them. If you learn synthesis, you can listen to a sound and then you'll know how to make it. Like if you would say that, oh, I want that kind of sound, I want this sort of thing. If you really dive into synthesis, you'll know how to make it. Like it's because there's only like there are some things that are unattainable because of the exact process they use is based on like the hardware world or something like that. But like largely the basics of everything you hear could be pretty well broken down to something that you can do. And that's something that becomes easier when you learn how to do it yourself.
Yeah. All right. Cheers.
Thank you. Boy. I just closed our Skype session instead of that size Skype session.
That'd have been bad.
Would have been. I see no sign of this Kovacs individual.
I don't know.
Yeah, see what we got going on in the chat. Protostar and 7 Minutes Dead should collaborate.
That would be cool.
Protostar, do you like Vent?
Never heard of him.
That is either.
Sorry.
Could you explain to us how you make your favorite bass drum?
Is that everyone?
If it's me, I just use samples because I don't make samples.
I use one oscillator.
I'll just carefully choose sample and layer.
Angie hung up again. Yeah, like you guys got to have more persistence.
They said they just closed the Skype. Shiz.
There's no. Okay. Now
Recall.
Okay. Hello.
Hey, sorry.
Oh, look, somebody. Oh, wow, you showed up. Great, cool.
Yeah, I actually did. Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Who is this?
I'm Angie. I was new to GoStars in the chat, and I called in before.
Ah, Angie. Okay, that's the Angie. You have made history, Angie. You were the second female to ever call in to a live stream on this channel.
Sweet. Well, I just started watching Seamless since I was watching an Audica thing, and I'm a big fan of Protostar, so I decided to drop in.
Oh, right on. You have any questions?
I have a couple questions. For one thing, guess, like, what do you guys think the biggest, like, new genre that'll come out that everyone is gonna, like jump on? Because, like, last year, I think we can all kind of agree it's kind of trap.
It's going to be the new genre that will be revealed in the coming months that nobody knows about, that I can't say anything about.
I know what he's talking about, but
even I don't know.
I can say two things on this. One thing that I think is going to happen is that there's going to be a resurgence in using instruments in production more on. Like, I feel like that's going to be a big thing, and you're going to start seeing more like Destroyed type acts, only better than what Destroyed does. And on top of that, you're also going to see the neuro sound permeate more genres of EDM than it already does. It's going to be just a big thing. It's going to take off. I also think breakbeats are going to come back a little bit.
No,
not necessarily the mixing style of it, but just like the beat and like the speed and the tempo, that kind of thing. Because like the Cohen Sound EP that happened had a lot of that. It was nice.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I definitely see the kind of neuro sound coming a bit bigger in this year, because it just seems that a lot of people are starting to try it out and sort of enjoy it. You know, whether it be full on noisier kind of neuro, or whether it be neuro infused with other styles.
My second question is, do you think music videos are hard to make when it comes to like EDM? Because lately I've been on a surge of like watching music videos that are made to like a lot of these popular songs. Do you think it's a lot harder to do because it has no lyrics? So therefore, do you think you can create a story that's reasonable to your audience that they'll understand it?
I think EDM music videos are easier to create than you would for like a rock song, actually. And that's because with EDM, I mean, you can pretty much take an EDM song and you could put anything behind it as long as it's kind of in sync with the song, it's going to work.
You can do really whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I mean, like with rock and stuff, you can just literally have the band playing.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. You could have a club scenario with the producer DJing the entire time. Tiesto's done it 80,000 times over, you know? Like,
actually, yeah, lots of music videos are usually just footage from people's tours. You know? Like,
yeah.
I think it's fairly easy. I mean, I think it's fairly easy these days for any genre to do a music video, to be honest with you, because I mean, we've come a long way since 1990s with music videos in the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, anyone with a GoPro can make a reasonably well shot
Yeah,
video.
music videos for like Britney Spears used to cost, $10 million, and now you can literally make a music video of similar quality for about $5,000.
Okay. And I think this will be my last question, so since I don't want to take up Skype calls. The male to female ratio of fan bases from most producers are pretty much dominating male. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you think you should have more female fans? Are males all okay? Or this is all sausage?
I don't fall into that category because Seamless and I have had this discussion, and my female fan base is actually about 50-50 with the male fan base. As to where Seamless is insanely sausage.
According to my YouTube stats, the amount of female subscribers that I have out of my like 28,000 that I have right now is 5%. That's how many
oh god
female subscribers I have. Let me tell you something. This is something that surprised me greatly about EDM in general, is that coming from being in a metal band, there are no girls at metal shows. There are none. Zero. And the ones, I mean, there are some, but they're usually either A, somebody's girlfriend in some other band that you're playing with, or B, batshit insane. Like, those are the girls that go to these shows. And then I went to the AU5 Violent show in Baltimore, and I went there, and it was like girls everywhere, just so many girls. And then like I can make some sort of assertions about like musical content and like that kind of thing, but I don't honestly think it seems to be like physicality seems to be both pretty fairly dominant. Like in the show there was a mosh pit, in the metal show there was a mosh pit. Like I don't really get it, but it's that.
Alex, you should have like a pretty good female fan base.
It seemed to be like increasing recently. Like, yeah,
you're young and cute and all of these good things.
Thanks.
And women think you're clean shaven, but you just can't grow it. And
fuck you.
Oh, how I miss those days. I would trade with you any day of the week. I would so let you have the beard, and I could just not worry about ever shaving.
Actually, Angie, I have a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
How do you feel about facial hair?
On Alex or?
What's your on Alex? Like how would you? Weird.
I've seen his Photoshop like facial hair with like a Stephen Hawking beard. I like him beard shaven.
I will take that. Sir.
Can I say one thing before I go?
Sure, I guess.
Do you think it's harder for female producers to make it into the scene? Because
No.
Because like
Oh my
there's
God,
things
no.
like Cruella and like Nerva and like DJ Fifa. I mean, like I know females are out there. They're just maybe harder to find depending on how it is.
There's less of them, but it's a lot easier, in my opinion, for them to get somewhere in their production career than it is for a guy.
It is a lot easier.
As long as they're cute, they will get somewhere. I mean, I've seen female producers that have followings on Facebook of like 50K and up, and their music is horrible. Like, I wouldn't even download it for free.
Yeah, females have a great talent amplifier. Put it there.
Okay, sweet. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Let's take some chat questions. And for the record, I'm not going to shave. I don't care. I don't care who says I should. It's not a thing that's going to happen. At least not completely clean. I can't do that. It's not a thing I can physically do.
Yes, it is. It's a thing he can do. If there's an influx
No
of
beard
females...
force.
No. If he had an influx of females that watched his streams and paid attention to him and they were hitting on him on his Facebook page and they were like, you should totally shave, he would fucking shave.
Nope.
Yes, he would. He would shave.
I mean, I'm not kidding when I say it's not a thing I can physically do. It doesn't work.
He would shave. He would shave for five... Actually, we had this discussion earlier. If somebody donates $5,000 to him, he will shave clean.
And it'll be clean for about 8 seconds.
No. If somebody gives you that much money, you're going to shave consistently for a month.
Okay, if I'm going to keep it gone, for any amount of time, then that amount of money is going to skyrocket.
No, that's not... No, come on. You can shave it. I've seen the picture of you shaving. You look like,
An 8-year-old? Not going to happen. Not a thing that's going to happen.
If you donate $50,000, he's shaving his head. I like the thought process. 75. 75,000. I'll shave my head. I'll shave my head for $100 donation. Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know.
Your Daryl hair.
Especially now that you fucking made that a thing. Yeah, like now everyone's like, oh, Daryl from Walking Dead. No.
See, people are saying that my beard isn't that great, and you're not wrong. It's just that I look way worse without it. Trust me on this. I need to have this cushion.
I shall hunt down that picture of him without the beard, and I will float it around the internet.
I found it, and I forgot where I put it.
I screenshot it when you showed me.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could have sworn I put it on the internet already, so I don't really care if you do. It's kind of funny. It's a picture of me in high school when I was in the 9th grade, or the 10th grade, I think. And then I had a school ID. And then I had the ID from the very next year. Because the first one, I was buzz cut, bare-faced. And then the next one, I had long hair and beard. Like, 1 year, total change. Like, that's why it's funny. That's why I had that picture. But, like, I'm never going to do that again. I don't think it's happening.
Wait till you fall asleep and I'm shaving it.
You will. That's a dangerous.
This has just become a hair care talk now.
Yeah. Let's talk about hair care. I like to use herbal essences. Like, it's really good. It makes my hair soft. It smells good. I mean, my hats don't get, like, dirty on the inside.
Do you scream like they do in the advert?
I do. I sometimes I've been in the shower and I'm just, like, flipping my hair around and I'm just, like, moaning. It's great. That's my typical morning. Seamless does the same thing.
Great. Do you join each other sometimes?
No, not yet.
No, we put Skype on in the shower.
Yeah, we have waterproof cameras, and we just Skype together, while showering. It's efficient.
Do you not have the Skype title on XSplit?
Yes.
He does right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Put it at the top. Where like
read that. I mean, okay. If you're not an English speaker and reading English is difficult for you, call Seamless Live on Skype. Seamless Live, one word. That's what you do. And we got a call from Abel. Hello, Abel.
Hi. I
Nice
have a
monster
question
catcher.
for Protostar.
Hey.
Well, pretty much for anybody. What do you guys think about new disco?
I like it.
Yeah.
I think Televised is doing a thing about new disco stuff, kind of like it was something about like they're showing people tips on how to do it or something. I think they're doing that. I think that's the thing. Tim, if it's that thing, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, I like new disco.
Another question.
Go ahead.
Okay.
For Protostar, how did you get your name?
Okay, so back in high school, we have a thing called A level, which is sort of like you take 3 subjects and you just do further school. And I was taking physics because I was quite into it, and I decided to look in the glossary, like the list of words in the back of the book, and saw the word, and I was like, that sounds alright, and I just chose it. And yeah, so I chose it.
Okay, I just don't really want to waste your time, so, bye.
Thank you. I mean, Angie was on the call for like 20 minutes. So. Alright, this guy's name is Fluxcore. Hello, Fluxcore.
Hey, so where'd you come up with your name Seamless?
Oh boy. Alright, well, I'm terrible at making names. That's the thing.
Yes.
Like, name things in general. I'm really bad at that kind of thing. So, I during the time that I was being a metal guy, I didn't really have a name because I was in the band, so that was like the band's name. And I had a gamer tag, not actually literally a gamer tag because I don't have an Xbox, but like I have just a name that I use for gaming, which is Seamless. And I had to make a forum name for like on ImageLine for when I had FL, so I was Seamless, okay. And then I started making like pseudo tutorials and I made tracks and I just used Seamless. Just kind of happened. This is sort of where that went, and there wasn't really much to that.
So I have a question for Protostar.
Hey.
So, like, how did you get into the process of becoming an artist on Monster Cat and working with Monster Cat?
Well, you shouldn't follow what I did because John would probably get annoyed at me that he's going to get an influx of people sending him stuff. But basically, I was on they had a gaming channel called Monster Cat Gaming, and I used to be like putting videos up on that as well. So I knew this guy called Josh. He used to run it, and basically one time I got him to like I asked him who was the A&R, which means artists and repertoire, which is basically the people who like find new artists, etc., etc. And he told me that Going Quantum is the manager. So I asked him to send him a track for me, and he sent it to him, and he didn't like it. So I was like, okay. And then about maybe half a year later, I decided to just like start talking to John on Facebook because I had him. So one night I just messaged him. We had a chat. We chatted for maybe like 6 hours. We just got on really well. And then he asked if something like some music. So I sent him the work in progress of Scorpion Pit, and he signed me on the spot.
All right, so this is one last question for everyone in general. So what do you guys like? What's the artist that you're into now, producing wise? Like, what artists do you like right now? And let's look. Like, how do you feel about the artist Mustache? Because he's getting really popular. What do you guys think of his music?
Does anyone want to?
I don't. Once again, it goes back to I don't listen to much electronic music. So.
Yeah, neither do I. I don't really go and explore new like releases too much unless someone like shows me it.
Let me think.
But Must Die. To be honest, I'm gonna just say I've never really listened to much of this stuff.
You know, like musically, I don't really see a huge amount of huge differences between like lots of EDM artists. Like it's a very large clump of a lot of the same stuff. So when I key into artists that I like, it's usually from a technical perspective, like a sound design perspective. So for example, a guy that we put out for free on our label, False Noise, he makes a lot of really cool bass sounds, and that's what I know him for. I know him for his really cool bass sounds. It's like I couldn't even place a song. I can't even remember the song. I just remember how his basses sounded, and I thought it sounded cool. Like when I think of like artists like that, I'm like, oh, Cohen Sound, Noisy, and Dylan, Delane. I used to think it's Audeca disproved the kind of people Joe Ford. Like, I see them in terms of like bass soundscape. That's how I view an artist, and it's not totally accurate in terms of an artist representation, but that's just how I see them.
So, what do you guys feel about? I forgot what I was gonna ask. Oh yeah. What do you guys think of like Ableton? Like, I know Seamless, you don't use Ableton, but have you ever tried it? Like, if you've used it, like, what's your opinion on it? Really?
Well, I did try to use a demo once. I didn't get very far.
Yeah, the interface is very confusing.
Now I can't use anything but Ableton.
I know what that's like. I mean, because I definitely accept the idea that FL's interface is equally confusing to people who aren't familiar with it, and that's all I can use. Like, I can't, like, FL has its own problems, and some of them are pretty glaring, but I'm just so used to it that it doesn't matter anymore. Everyone gets like that when they're choosing DAW.
Alright, so I'm gonna hang up so anyone else who wants to call can call.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You're welcome. Bye.
He can continue to vacuum his house.
I think he was making a fucking smoothie.
Yeah, I was gonna say who's Hoover just came on.
That's how you make a Hoover bass, ladies and gentlemen. So that's from Smoothie Makers. All right, who got chat questions? What is the weirdest sound you've ever used or made?
A bathtub, like water running in a bathtub.
I was gonna say the weirdest I ever used was draining, like a sink draining.
Yeah, kind of similar to that.
Back in high school, I brought a microphone to school, and a couple of friends of mine, we messed around with a cup, a plastic cup, over a microphone. Like, we basically did this, and we also took some plastic and would like crumple it up, and we'd record like mini skits of being like, oh, I'm just walking down the street, and then like crunch plastic and be as if like they had just like broken a bone or something. Like that was what we did, and like probably not the answer you're looking for, but that's about the weirdest recording sort of folding I've ever done. Shit is apparently laggy. I believe you.
Is it?
How long have you been making music, Protostar, and what DAW?
Yeah, I just answered this in chat. 3 years, and I used Reason 7.
Very good. Sounds like animals. Yeah. You guys can collaborate with one artist each. Can be several people working on an artist name. Who would you, if you've not collaborated for, who would it be and why? So yeah, if you could collaborate with anyone ever, who would you be?
Koran sound. No hesitation there.
Noisier for me. That's what I would do.
Or noisier, yeah. Why do you even have to think about it? It should be instant.
There's really nobody. I can't think of anybody, to be honest with you.
Well, narrow it down by genre. Like, if you're going to do electronic stuff, who would you collaborate with?
Electronic?
Yeah. For any reason. Like, if it's just like, the most advantageous, like, who would you do it with?
M-Machine.
M-Machine. Cool. Okay, people are making ASCII penises. That's cool.
People keep calling.
Yeah, we got some calls. We got Totally Not Infrared and Jonas. It's called Jonas. Hello, Jonas.
Hey, man.
How are things?
Well, this one actually goes to the Protostar.
Hey. Protostar.
Yep. Well, I'm a music producer as well, and I've got very rare time for production.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this one goes to the Protostar, as I said, and I've got quite of a problem with my production timing. I mean, I'm studying ETC, and as you seem to be a cool guy of my age, I'd just like to know how you do manage your production time, honestly.
I guess it comes down to just discipline, really. Like, I mean, you have to. The things I obviously will try balance is just, I've got work as in uni, music, and then social stuff. So, as long as I've got my work out of the way, then it's just balancing the other two. So, either I'll set deadlines for myself, or if I start a tune and I get really immersed in it, then I'll try and make time for that and just get it out of the way. I mean, it just seems to work for me. Sometimes I don't have any time at all to do it, so then it will just go for a few weeks or something where I won't do any music. But I guess scheduling stuff. So making your studio time as important as if it was work time, that also works. So disconnecting yourself and then setting yourself deadlines for that day. Say, I want to have the draft of a drop or draft of a whole tune done by the end of the day. Just count your time when you're doing music as very important.
I see. So it's just setting priorities and stuff.
Yeah, basically.
Thanks. Okay, I really should try that.
No
Okay.
worries.
Thank you for your help. I don't have that problem. I don't do anything except music. I live with my mother. How old are you guys, and what have you studied?
I'm 20.
Oh.
25.
I'm 17.
Shaun's 17. He studied math and English.
I'm at uni studying engineering, and I'm finishing this year.
Which I mentioned earlier. What have I studied? I went to a performing arts high school, and normal high school hours, or in the U.S., are usually 6 hours, but our high school was actually full on 8 hours, and we separated. So half the day was traditional academic stuff, and the other half was performing arts. And this is where we would have classes for things like recording and audio engineering and lots of theater-based stuff as well, like lighting and sound production, that kind of thing. So this is where I got a lot of my experience for learning how to do recording stuff, was doing that in high school. And then I went to college and I went to music and I dropped out. So that's what happened.
Are you still completely Reason? Yeah, Haunter. I'm completely Reason still. A lot of people don't believe that. Don't know why.
Let's see, Seamless, could you try to make a full track, no mixing and stuff needed? 10 minutes. Well, I could. It's not going to be any good.
Honestly, I don't get how that would work. You have to do some degree of mixing to have creativity in making your sounds.
I guess it depends on what you consider mixing. Because if we make each sound individually without any consideration for any other sounds, then you're not mixing things. However, I would have to miraculously create the sound to sound just as it should to mix properly with everything else.
Yeah.
We're talking semantics, but the answer to your question, yes, but it's going to sound shitty. Seamless, I'm deaf in one ear. Give me tips on mixing down. Mix down pretty much extra tips you could think of. Putting stuff in mono. Okay, well, this actually goes for pretty much any kind of audio problem anyone might have. So being deaf in one ear is obviously a pretty big one, but things like if you have shitty headphones or broken headphones, or one of the sides only works, or your monitor's terrible, you're in not necessarily the best room, that kind of thing, those problems. And the answer to that problem is to reference stuff, reference things constantly. If you're doing a mix, listen to something that is close to what you're doing that you think sounds good, and then listen to it on your system or with your situation, and then try and make your stuff match up with that. If for example, I don't have sub bass, subwoofer. I don't have a subwoofer, so I have if I were not paying attention, I might overcompensate for the lack of bass, so that I could hear the bass just coming out of my monitors. And then if someone were listening to it, they'd be like, "Oh my god, the bass is too loud. It's destroying your mix. Why would you do this?" And because that might sound good to me at the time, but then if I were to go listen to a song that I know was mixed well and mastered well, and I might notice that it doesn't sound like the bass is really there on my system. So then on my system, I would mix my songs to have that level of bass, and so that's how you would know that you're at least on the right track. The other answer is to send someone else to mix it. Which might should do that anyway.
Any more?
Kovacs says to Alex, how do you go about making that growl bass in your Scorpion Pit VIP? Do you use EQ modulations or separate VSTs to create that valve sound? And what VSTs are you using?
Well, Seamless did a tutorial on how to do that bass. It's a bandpass basically. If I try to remember exactly what I did, it was a bandpass. That was the main part, but then I also automated on. I used Maelstrom, and I think I automated the index on it because Maelstrom is a grain table, so it's a granular synthesizer, and it's got wave tables, so it's a mix of the both. And it has like, if you scroll through the grain table, you can hear different sounds. So what I did is I automated that to give it some more movement, sort of gave it that sort of growly type, like even it accented that type even more than if it was just the bandpass. But yeah, so it was the same bass obviously from the original, but I just adjusted sort of the time of the LFO and how that works out.
Nice. Someone asked if I could make a song with Viewer Given Ideas, and I kind of already am, because on my Patreon, the highest level of donation is that whoever donates that much gets to tell me what my next track is going to be, like what genre and what they might hear out of it. And my glitch hop track I'm working on now on the stream is one of those tracks. Like that I am doing that track as the result of a viewer giving me a whole bunch of money and then telling me to make that song. So that's how that works. My face. Ugh. Check my Skype clocks. I see some calls. Let's do some calls. Russell Johnson. Hello, Russell Johnson.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh crap! I got on. Cool.
You did.
I got a question for Protostar that's very similar to one that just got asked.
Okay.
I was curious what you used to make the main bass in the original version of Scorpion Pit. It's always doing really shuffly kind of things.
Oh, that is basically the same bass, just really fast and resampled. I think I just did some effects, like a bit of bit crushing to it, like very subtly, and just a lot of tape saturation. It's just when things are choppy and fast, they often sound quite different. So I mean, just mess about with like shortening stuff and warping stuff a lot, and you can get some nice effects. But it's the same thing. It's a bandpass, but just really fast. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Neat.
I wish I had another question for you, but I'm sure there's plenty of other people with questions already.
Well, thank you for your call, Russell Johnson.
Thanks.
Thank you, and thank you, Seamless. You did a sound design request for me a while back.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Someone was mentioning Thor in the chat about Reason. And
I used to use Thor.
You used to use Thor?
Yeah, I don't use it so much anymore, really. Like, I mean, I'll use it for super saws and that kind of stuff, but I've found that Maelstrom is a lot easier for me to make good sounds out of than Thor. Thor takes a lot of programming, and Maelstrom, it just seems that because it's a grain table, that a lot of the sort of basic sounds that you can start building together are just there. Whereas in Thor, it's mostly just normal oscillators, like like saws, squares, sines, etc., etc. So I don't know. I just feel with my workflow at the current moment that I enjoy using Maelstrom a lot more because I can come up with more original stuff.
What's interesting about Thor is that I actually have a little bit of experience with it, not using it so much, but there was a DubSpot tutorial about FM synthesis, and they used Thor as an example for how FM can work. And the tutorial itself was rather bad. Like, they set some pretty lofty goals. They were like, oh, we're going to teach you how to make the Skrillex and kill the noise bases, and they showed some of them. They played the tracks that they're going to try and recreate, and they didn't get anywhere near that. But, like, that video taught me the basics of how FM worked. Like, because the idea that the modulation of FM was dependent on the volume of the modulating oscillator totally alien to me. And like that video taught me that, and they use Thor. So now whenever I think of Thor, I'm like, yeah, Thor taught me FM synthesis in a really horrible backwards kind of way.
Yeah, really backwards.
Okay, so we got someone named Totally Not Infrared. I'm not going to answer because you already got a call. And someone named Lawlenstein, which probably a trap. And a guy named Jonathan. So let's answer Jonathan's call. And he just hung up before I got there. Good job. His name is Eric. Let's do Eric. Hello, Eric.
Hi.
Everything.
I had a question for sound design for you guys. I was just wondering if you guys do your sub bass in groups with your other bass noises. If you just do a glue compressor or something to that effect.
What I'll do is because in Reason you used to not be able to do groups, but now I'll just group the basses together, and then if it needs it, I'll normally just do some New York compression to it. So I'll just basically do parallel compression. So I will just throw a parallel on it and just compress that quite a lot, and then maybe boost the highs a bit just to bring out the top end. But I'll probably leave the low end as it is, just so I don't throw off the mix. And then I can possibly bypass that as well, just thicken it out. But yeah, I'll normally I'll bring them all into a group and then maybe slightly compress them, just so that it sort of brings them together level wise.
Sometimes, basically, what I don't necessarily do this just on basses, but I'll do this on the whole track. Is what I'll do is I'll use multi-band compression, and then I'll really focus on the low end. Like I'll really bring it up kind of high, and what that'll do is because a lot of my resampled sounds require a lot of correction when they're done because they lost a lot in translation. Like the harmony sampling process creates a lot of bass cancellation. And sometimes that usually makes you lose the low end. So you can either solve this by sub-reinforcement with an external oscillator, or you can multi-band compress it and just crush the low end. Where you leave the mids and the highs alone being what they were originally, and then the low end is just consistent no matter what. I also do this on my bass guitar, actually, for my live tone, for my metal band. Just to ensure that no matter what I'm doing with my fingers, is that there's always a constant, like, smooth bass tone. So, like, that's why I like multi-band compression.
And then another question I had, I was just wondering if any of you guys do frequency splitting for your basses and sound design.
A lot of the time, yeah. Because I'll mainly do it because with basses you don't want the low end to be wide normally, because there's a lot of subsystems for mono, so normally what will happen is if you have the low end wide, when it goes through a mono system, what can happen is phase cancellation, so then the bass will pretty much be non-existent. Also, if you have phase issues, it can pretty much like sound horrible on a club system because of the way it sounds. So with the low end, you normally want to keep it mono, but I'll like maybe around 5k or something, or maybe a bit lower, like depending on the sort of sound, I will widen it up with some Haas. It's spelled Haas. It's an effect where basically you delay one of the left or right channels just slightly, and it makes it sound wider and it's coming from the other side. So I'll just apply that slightly. But yeah, that's
I very rarely apply frequency splitting anymore. It used to be like the go-to thing, because back before I knew how to do anything related to resampling, I was always told that like people like Noisy and whatever got the sounds that they got through lots of like frequency splitting and stacks, that kind of thing. And I'd always try to do that, and I never get anywhere. It wasn't something I was good at. And like I know that it works because I've seen people do it, and they do a really good job. It's just something I can do well. But what I'll do these days is I'll use Patcher to make a frequency split, and then this will be basically targeted distortion is what I'll do. So like I want to distort a bass sound, and you would want you want the bass to be in the distortion because it affects the high frequencies in certain ways, which you don't necessarily want the output to have low end distortion. So what you do is you distort it, and then after that you EQ it so that it's only the mid or the high or whatever, but then you let the clean low through so that you have, again, constant low end, and then whatever effect you're going on, like on top of that. That's a pretty pretty simple application of frequency splitting right there.
Okay. And then one quick one. I was just wondering if, because I thought it was really interesting, if you've seen the Noisia Future magazine. I'm sure you've all seen that. When they're going through the drums, he shows that he layers it with a Superior drummer kit along with the synth, kicks and snares, and he also has the overheads, and he distorts them and does really wacky things and then mixes them like in there. I was just wondering if any of you guys do that, because I thought that was interesting.
I don't really, because I think it's more useful for drum and bass because the drums are much more prominent in the way that, like the amount of percussion, etc. That a drum, like the drums in a drum and bass track, will be a lot more than what I'm doing. Like, I mean, I know Pendulum, when they used to do albums, they used to, just do the electronic drums, and then they also have the live drums underneath as well. It just fills it out. I mean, I've never really tried it, to be honest, because in Reason I can't really get any good sort of live drum recreation program, so I'd have to do it in Ableton and then bounce out and whatnot. But I think, I don't know, for me, if I did it, it would make the mix a bit too messy, because I'm not that practiced in it.
I use Superior Drummer a lot, and not necessarily in this particular, like the glitch hop when I was using it in, but in my collaboration with Missing Identity that I'm doing, who won the Resolve Remix competition, he actually applied a lot of interesting distortion, wave shaping to the drums that we were using, which were from Superior Drummer. So it was sort of like that, because Superior Drummer is a lot of fun because it treats your drum samples as if they were an actual drum recording. Like you were saying, they split it up into overheads, ambient mics, and that kind of thing. And so you're able to blend acoustic regular recordings, like a drum recording, and then you also can just affect just like an overhead or a mono far mic or something. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right. Well, thanks.
Thank you. Have a good day. All right, so we're just about done here. It's about to be 7:30, so let's do a couple chat questions.
Yeah.
And we can move on. Someone says, "What's the one song you wish you'd written?"
Didn't we get to ask that last time?
I don't remember. I wasn't there.
Does that mean as in in the world? Just, oh man, I wish I wrote that song.
Wrote it.
Plenty of time, yeah.
I guess that song actually is kind of funny, in particular for me, is Muse's "Knights of Sidonia." That song. I wish I wrote that, because the first time I heard it, I was sitting there and I was doing the producer thing where you listen to songs and we kind of analyze what we listen to, or just kind of be like, oh, that's pretty cool. I want to do that. I'm just being like, oh, it'd be really cool. Like if I were doing this, I would do this, and then they went and did it. And then if I were doing this, I would do this, and then they went and did it. Everything that I thought Common totally did. So much so that I would joke that Muse me for future. That's what I thought was happening. So I was like, damn, I wish I wrote Knights of Sidonia.
I wish I wrote Hybrid Theory and Meteora. Just because they're pretty much my two timeless albums that I don't think I'll ever hate. And I can always go back to it. Those two albums are my favorite. And,
the remix album they put out back then was really awesome.
Yeah.
I love the shit out of that.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
Man. What about you, Shaun?
I don't really have an opinion.
Shaun doesn't have an opinion. He is in your heart.
He doesn't listen to music.
He doesn't. What do I think of Studio Drummer? I've never used it. Presumably, I guess it's fine. I'm of the opinion that as far as acoustic drum libraries go and samplers, that Superior Drummer and to a lesser extent Easy Drummer, but mostly Superior Drummer and the libraries that come with it are the best ever. Also fucking huge. Damn. They have bleed samples. They set up a drum kit, they're recording a drum kit, for an actual recording, and they record a snare, right? But they have all the other mics set up anyway. So then when you have a bleed sample and a tom, they recorded the snare in that tom mic with that tom set up, with the snare set up in that position. It's not a filtered snare or something. It's that actual bleed setting. That's how hardcore Superior Drummer is. Awesome. It's amazing. Damn.
You should get married to Superior Drummer.
I would make the best babies. We'd make breaks together.
Superior babies.
Superior babies. Also known as teenagers. Superior babies. Sure. Yeah, okay, we can call this here. This is pretty good. You know, for what it was, my internet seems to have survived despite horror. So good job, Shaun, for saving the stream.
Yeah.
And thank you, Protostar, for showing up and being a guest. That's a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed. Thanks everyone in the chat for showing up and being people in the chat, as you are usually hilarious. Thank you for our callers who came on and gave us calls.
Don't forget to go check out the webpage for the label.
AmonRecords.com. It's pretty easy to remember. Pretty sweet. Lots of neat stuff up there. As we mentioned earlier, we have a sample pack. Shaun and I, we made a sample. What?
Preset pack.
Preset pack. We have not made a sample pack. We made a preset pack. Even massive preset. I made Harmer and Citrus presets.
Yes. All the people who bought those or picked them up, thank you.
You are the guys. Mm-hmm. Most likely. Statistically speaking, you are the man. All right. If you have any questions about any of this, let me know. And as usual, have a nice day.